One of the most prevalent Netaji's death story for a long time is that he went to Soviet Russia and was killed there. But was the story so right from the beginning? The first reaction among Indians when the news of Netaji's death in plane crash at Taihoku came in on 23rd August 1945 was disbelief. Heartbroken, they found out ways to console themselves. Some thought this was a murder, but most believed this to be another escape from the Anglo-Americans. Perhaps very few took the news as true. Initially, word spread that Netaji has gone into hiding to an unknown place and will re-emerge at the opportune time. But people were clueless to express where the unknown place was. In September 1946, Forward Bloc leaders said Subhash Chandra Bose is alive and will reappear at the opportune time for the final revolution in order to free India from the foreign yoke. In a public meeting, Sarad Bose expressed that though he had no information of Netaji, he believes that Subhash was alive. He also said it would be futile to search for him or to try to secure any news of his whereabouts. Chicago Daily News reported on 20th December 1945 by Philip Stalbert that Netaji has been seen in many Far Eastern centers. Alfred Waugh of Chicago Tribune, who supposed to have visited Taihoku Airport in September 45, was verbally reporting to many in India that Netaji was seen in Indochina. Waugh had told this in the presence of then Defence Minister Baldev Singh. Forward Bloc President Sardul Singh too had said that he received intimation from some important Sikhs in 1945 from Shanghai that Netaji had personally spoken to them. Naga leader Angami Fizo, who had once enlisted as INA soldier, too declared that he met Netaji at Peking in 1952. He even published a photo of him with Netaji. Sarad Bose, in another occasion, expressed that he has information that Government of India knows that Netaji is in China. The same Chicago Daily News reported that Forward Bloc President Sardar Sardul Singh Kavishar told an audience in late 1946 that he had learnt on good authority that Netaji was recently shot dead on the Russo-Chinese border by Allied troops. So now he believes that Netaji is dead. Though Forward Bloc President Kavishar believed Netaji was dead, his deputy Thevar went on claiming he had extensive correspondences with Bose, who is now living in China and is engaged in some mission. Bose will re-emerge when his mission is completed. Thevar further stated Bose is alive and is forming an Asian Liberation Army in Xinjiang province under the protection of the Chinese Communist authorities to free India from Anglo-American domination. He had been in contact with Bose for the last 7 years and had met him during a visit to Burma. This is corroborated by Chandra Singh Rawat, MLA from Garhwal, who informed that in December 55, January 56, 3 Garhwali soldiers who were declared dead by Government of India appeared in their villages and disclosed that they had come from Sinkian province, where 13,000 Indian soldiers with Netaji was waiting for an opportunity to bring India out of Anglo-American influence. Chitta Basu, too, in his Ed memoir, as late as in 1992 said, rumor persists that Netaji soon took another plane, this time to Yunnan, the then capital of Communist China. Jagdish Kodeshia, Delhi Congress President, testified to Justice Khosla Commission that in 1951, the Bishop of Dalat, near Saigon, told him that Netaji was with him on the day of the crash and also on the day when it was announced. In 1953, Debnath Das made public Indian Independence League's investigative report, where they mentioned of a detailed escape plan chalked out by Netaji after Japan's surrender. Netaji decided to return to Indian soil. It was decided that he would be dropped somewhere in Assam or in Bengal. In case his arrival on Indian soil direct from Southeast Asia was not feasible, the alternative plan was that he would proceed to China, preferably to Yunnan for the time being. Samar Guha gave a twist to the disappearance tale by citing Jugantar newspaper of 6th March 1969, where a West Bengal police officer, ex-army man working in Singapore in 1945, narrated that Netaji did not fly from Taihoku. Instead, he left Singapore in a submarine to an unknown destination. S.M. Goswami's information was more colorful. He said, 1. In a 1946 broadcast, Bose had said, "I shall be coming to you at the earliest of 1947. 2. Sharad Bose told him, "All I know of my brother is that he is in North China." 3. Bose was taking guerrilla training there and became advisor to Mao Zedong. 4. Netaji had established a heavenly kingdom on the other side of the Himalayas. Eastern Tibet is the headquarters. 5. Hitler ran away on a submarine to Japan. He came to Mabu Rock, a no man's land in Burma, in 1962. 6. Goswami later said in 1962, Subhas was distributing pamphlets on the Indo-China border and also in Tezpur that the advancing army was not Chinese but the Liberation Army commanded by Netaji. Netaji's idea was to capture Assam, surround whole of East Pakistan and make a sovereign Bengal. But Nehru negotiated with the British and Americans. That angered Netaji and he said, "We are going back." 7. He also said, Bose was in Hanoi since 1953 and was present when Ho Chi Minh took oath. But he is in Cambodia now. 8. During the Korean War in 1952, Bose's Asian Liberation Army fought under the name of Chinese volunteers, where MacArthur spotted him and wanted to kill him. Goswami was so confident of his declarations that he published a booklet in 1970 claiming that he was ready to take parliamentary delegation to the country where Netaji was engaged in a life and death struggle for helping a small country which was now a victim of American aggression. He further reported that Clark Gifford, former US Defense Secretary, described that among the mighty Viet Cong, one complete division of Asian Liberation Army was fighting there under the inspired leadership of a super brain. So, after going through recorded statements in the first decade or so after the air crash news, we heard of Netaji being in Far Eastern centers, Indochina, Shanghai, Peking, Xinjiang, Yunnan, North China, China, Korea, Dalat, Hanoi, Cambodia, Burma, Tibet, Assam and Bengal. But hardly anyone reported that he was in Soviet Russia. The Soviet Russia story, or what is called the Russian theory, came into existence during the US-USSR Cold War era. It is the creation of the anti-communist lobby. Satyanarayana Sinha, known as S.N. Sinha, a bureaucrat, started it. Sinha was the Indian representative of the Asian Anti-Communist League, a part of World Anti-Communist League. Apparently, he was tasked to grow hatred among the Indians towards the Soviet Union. So, he chose Netaji's perceived disappearance mystery to harm Indo-Soviet relations. According to scholars, the Russian theory was a deliberate effort to spoil India-Russia dealings. Simultaneously, the purpose was to tarnish Nehru's image among the people as he sided with the Soviets. However, this theory, the Russian theory, has lost much of its relevance since the dismantling of the Soviet Union. The Russian theory is indeed an afterthought. This leads us to the fact that the other stories, the Baba stories, which starts with the Baba coming to India from Russia, is bunkum. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe the channel.